people of the internet. It is your humble GM for these preceding evenings, Chris. And welcome to the new episode of the Wildfire Club. As you can see, we're going to get into a party tonight. But before I get into all that, let's introduce the lovely people of our cast. Starting off with the wonderful Hamna. Hamna, who are you playing today and every other day for this series?
Hello everyone, my name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. Today I will be playing Avataha, who uses he, him pronouns, who is ready to win a battle of the bands. And surely I will win a battle of the bands. And with that, I'm going to pass things over to Joe.
Hello, I'm Josephine at scarydogfriend, and I will be playing Lizzie Stone, our, maladjusted, suddenly orphaned, suddenly widow. We have a lot that's happening at the same time, and, we're just gonna keep smoking, keep trucking. I'll pass it over to Cam.
I'm Cam, aka Caminator, and I play Arizona. Pass it on.
And I shall grab it, as I said before. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris, and I will be your humble GM for these preceding evenings. Before we start off this official Kids on Bikes hack, a couple things to keep in mind. Exclamation point CW if you did not catch those content warnings in the beginning. For this series and episode in particular, we have fantasy and gun violence, apocalypse, romance and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, severe weather, specifically forest fires and hurricanes, blood, real-world religions, familiar struggles and loss, alcohol and drug use, trauma, references to mind control and manipulation, emotional and physical abuse, supernatural elements, and depictions of kidnapping and murder. If none of this floats your boat, there's a plethora of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. Also, if you want to follow me or any of the lovely cast members I have on my sides here, exclamation point cast to see where you can find them on the weed wide web of the internet. But with that, I think it's time for us to get into this intro here and get started with another episode of the Wildfire Club. We'll see you in a hot second, audience. We return back on our lovely wildfires after a very concerning night. But with that in mind, I think if I set the scene up a little bit here, the door is still slightly broken. You're able to just close at least, not necessarily can lock it from whatever pushed it out. But in the living room, I think we find our three individual wildfires just popping a squat somewhere and just sleeping it off of whatever the hecticness of the night is. And I think with everything going on, who would be the first one to wake up, do we think, after this morning as it's sort of coming about?
I think
I think-
Zona's used to it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
totally. No, I
feel
think that's true for you, yeah.
Yeah, I think Zona, because she's on the the ranch all the time and gotta have early days there. She is used to like getting up right before the sun rises, like no matter what. Clockwork.
Fantastic. You kind of stretch getting everything up. Do you kind of just go about your day, or do you wake the others up too? Or you do notice it's probably not as early as you usually wake up. You kind of slept in slightly a bit, so it's about maybe 10 in the morning, not necessarily like 6 when you would usually start your day.
I think Zona's actually gonna start with going ahead, making a pot of coffee for everybody. Tries to find it in Lizzie's place. And is trying to be quiet so that other people don't wake up, but like isn't being successful in that necessarily.
Very much.
You hear
like,
clanking of mugs, like there's something
and
going
even
on.
it's very successful at first because you're just like tiptoe, go over. And then when it gets to the cabinet, you're like, oh god, this is hard. This is full on monogamy. Whatever the name term is for that word that means to open and close. As you just monogamous wood, yeah.
Monogamous wood as
Yeah,
opposed to polyamorous wood?
Yes. It is a Christian
Mahogany?
household. We have Christian wood. Okay.
I'm confused. Are we trying to say monotony or mahogany?
Mahogany.
Whatever the word is. You know what it is. It's wood. It's
not.
Oh,
You
mahogany.
totally got it right. It's
Okay.
supposed to be
mahogany.
Okay, mahogany.
This is
Gotcha.
Mahogany. Okay.
Monogamous mahogany wood is what we're looking at right now. That's what we're looking at.
Monogamous belongs in there. Okay. So
But with that, yeah, you're getting everything out.
Coffee set for everybody. I'll look in and I'll just like help myself to frying up some bacon and eggs. That kind of thing. I'm making plates for everybody, but like I'm burning the eggs. I'm burning the bacon. Like I am not a cook in any way, but I'm like, it's food. So they're gonna eat it, right? Like
I think if anything, Lizzie, you begin to smell burning, and I think it kind of like you wake up very much like zombie-like. Just you can see Zona desperately in the kitchen trying to cook.
good morning, sweetheart.
You know that you have to be watching over the food when you're cooking it?
It's fine. It's just getting off all the, germs and stuff. I threw one of these pieces on the floor and I had to scrape it up a bit, so.
Okay. Get out of the kitchen. Okay.
You don't want some coffee or nothing? How do you
Coffee
take it?
sounds black.
So I'll pour a cup, hand it over to Lizzie. Like, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
Something
She
strong,
takes-
start the day.
She takes the pan of burnt food ingredients and throws it all away, and then properly starts to like put food together. And she has she'll have like bread out and like butter and everything, and like takes nowhere near as long and as bad as obviously Arizona did, but there will be nice smelling food wafting for whenever Ava stirs.
Yeah. I think Zona would probably like peek in, check in on Ava a little bit, like, but not wake you up necessarily, just like making sure you're all right too.
It takes a while for Ava to wake up. I don't think that he is up nearly as early as Zona. Definitely not before the sun rises or anything like that. So I think it's maybe sometime after Lizzie's been up for a while that he stirs and kind of like gets ready in the morning and makes his way down to the breakfast that has been laid out. Is there any remnant of Arizona's breakfast like still left, or has Lizzie kind of...
I threw it all away.
You can still smell it. As from personal experience, you can still smell the burntness that is just embedded in certain areas of the kitchen.
I think Ava sniffs in the air at first and then chuckles and says, "I see breakfast is served."
Real
earlier,
breakfast.
but somebody wanted to make it all fancy like.
Was doing everybody right by not feeding you carcinogenics.
I don't know what corset sick is. Nobody was getting sick in any cars over here. It was just good food. And besides, eggs are good, even better with a little ash on them. All right.
I think given everything that we have been through recently, I might pass on the ash this time, Zona.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to draw up any nasty memories for you there, Ava.
I mean, I think we've all inhaled our share of ash recently.
Yeah. Zona pours you a cup of coffee and hands it over to you.
Ava thanks you, and I think raises the cup of coffee in the direction of wherever we left the videotape last night, whether it's like on the counter or something like that, and just kind of like gestures towards it. So what are we doing about that today?
Well,
No one better go talk to Franklin, else I'm just beating him in out in public.
Scared of me, so I don't know about all that for me.
I could probably go and talk to him. I mean, Frank hangs out with Cyrus a lot, so I'm sure that it wouldn't be too hard.
That's
I
true.
think we should check out the trail, honestly. There's gotta be some sort of evidence there. And besides,
as soon as
no way that this video is real. It's gotta be fake.
As soon as you mention the prospect of going back on the trail, Lizzie just like kind of visibly, audibly stops drinking her coffee. I think there's something at the Tennyson library that I think we can benefit from. Something about checking out those walls, those markings, and see if there was something. There's Arizona. There can't be any way that my parents, your dad, had anything. As she's talking, it's so hard for her to convince herself at the same time. There's no way that they could have been doing any of this.
Hey,
Not addled by something, not pressured, or I don't know.
We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll get to the bottom of it. And besides, you know, who knows how much of that was real? I mean, you know, Ava, you're smart. It's gotta be some of them special effects or something, you know, right?
Well, I mean, special effects you can... Frank would know more about this than me, but I mean, you could fake the place you're in, but I don't know if you could fake people's faces. I mean, those would have to be some pretty darn good masks, and I don't know why anyone would want to make them of your parents.
Maybe we're trying to blackmail him or start some rumors about him.
It has to be.
Gotta be.
Maybe. But Zona, is it a good idea for you to go out onto the trail alone? And you can see in Ava's face that he is referencing what happened at the bar, the Iron Bull, yesterday. The threat to your life that you had received.
Could I make a brains check to see to see if there is a seed of something suspicious here?
Do it.
I'm trying to think if it's between brain or... I'm going to give you brain because you're trying to read a little bit more rather than charming.
You're trying to logic it out, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Are you guys gonna lie about this or...
No, I don't think we would give the information right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a matter of like, what question do you ask?
Yeah.
So
I think
no
it's like,
contesting is...
Yeah, I'm not going to contest the
Yeah.
role. It's more so just like, I think Ava's being indirect about it on purpose because he's not sure whether Zona like wants that to be out there kind of thing. But wouldn't lie about it if like Zona's okay with talking about it. Yeah.
You can still roll. I'll give you DC 7 that you can kind of just cut into this and kind of know that something's amiss here, Joe.
I got an 8.
Got an 8. So you can clearly see that when they're referencing something must have happened in the Iron Bowl. You don't know exactly what happened, but something happened while you were looking away.
Wait, what the hell are you two talking about?
It's nothing you gotta worry about. It's just,
We just saw a video of your dad and my 2 parents both potentially over somebody in some kind of cult-like fashion. There's nothing that I need to worry about.
Okay, fine. There's plenty you gotta worry about. But
Well,
in this case, it's just some old grudges popping up. This Ranger, Murray, all upset and tizzy because she's got in her head I killed her brother. And she may or may not have threatened me in the diner.
threatened with a gun
Avocide.
under the table.
With a gun. Hey, I had mine on me. I stay armed, and I know how to protect myself. I'll be fine. If she's foolish enough to try.
I was gonna ask if you had a gun, so... I mean...
Zona like moves her flannel, just like...
Yeah.
Make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm significantly less worried because I know you can take care of yourself, Zona, but...
I appreciate it though, Ava. You're...
Don't catch either me or Ava in the crossfires of that, okay?
Oh, wouldn't dream of it. Gotta protect you too.
Okay, well, if we're sure that it'll be safe, then maybe we'd go our separate ways, cover more ground that way. Yeah?
Yeah, we can meet up later on. Let's give each other a call at home if anything pops up, but let's... What time is it now?
8, 9, something.
Okay, yeah. Let's maybe plan to meet up 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come back here before we go to concert tonight.
Sounds good to me.
Oh shit, that's happening.
Yep.
You
It's gonna a
promised to
hell
be
of a good
there.
time.
Did you... I have questions. We don't have time for the questions. But it's gonna be safe tonight, yes?
Yes.
You followed protocol measures. There are specific marked exits.
Yes, I followed all of your instructions as per the agreement that we had in exchange for the map to the mines. All precautions are being taken, I promise.
She kind of gives a wordless nod, and then again there's this apologetic look over to you, Arizona. I'm sorry I can't go with you, but another time.
We'll be fine.
Let's go.
Important question. Point of order. The VHS came with two things: the VHS itself, and then a wrapping around it, which had a bunch of stuff on it in terms of writing and questions. My question is, where is that going? Is that staying here? Are we taking that with
I'm
us?
taking
Who's
the
taking
wrapper to the library,
Got
and
it.
then
I think I should
I
take
envision-
the
Yeah.
VHS to
VHS,
Frank to show
yeah.
him the weirdness.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Another point of order thing. How many adversity tokens do I have? I have 4 adversity tokens. Could I go to my truck? No, not just my truck. My general strength that I have is being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So could I spend 2 tokens to give Arizona a camera?
Yep, simple enough. You just pull probably maybe one of your parents. Your parents like to take photos and videos, so
Yeah.
you probably just grab it from the back there, give it over to Zona.
This might be good for the trail.
Thank you.
Okay.
So wait. Can I just like keep that in my car? Yeah, is that cool?
Yeah, it's a thing. It exists.
Okay.
It doesn't disappear when you. Just
I know,
walk
but
away.
I don't know if like if that's like mine forever, if I'm giving it back, is what I'm saying.
No, whatever. Like we'll
Okay.
just be using it for the team most likely.
Yeah.
But it'll be good to have like actual visual markers of like anything on the trail that's interesting, especially because I don't know shit about your dad. So.
To be fair, I barely know shit about my dad. He's quite famously absentee.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So,
Well, he was.
fantastic. With that, we all begin to separate. Let's start off with you, Lizzie.
Sure.
As you begin to go into town. Now, day has passed and funeral's over. People have kind of already written that sort of low of the day and are really much more on that high. You begin to find yourself once again in town, full bloom as it is still summer and people are enjoying their time. The summer sun is here, the heat that comes with it, depending on whether you like the heat or not, is here and is bringing about another wonderful day as the fire and the deaths that came with this event have really just left people's minds for the most part. With it, you kind of turn the corner and you see the vestige of the library, which is in the sort of community college that is within the town. It's one of the older structures here, even though it did have to get rebuilt after it did get hit by Hurricane Cassidy. But it's still standing and, to be honest, is the best place to have stuff for research purposes. You park, begin to walk on campus, and there's a couple students still around, out and about, probably doing summer courses, trying to get in some, a couple extra credits in there while they have the summer. Real go-getters as they're sort of going back and forth to their classes wherever they may be. And again, the building is a relic of the town. You can see sort of clay brick exterior mixed with the combination of vegetation and erosion that is on the other sides of it that make it more of like a garden landmark, if anything, than a library from the outside eye. As you are going about, 2 things that you do notice. One of the first things you notice, particularly because they're very loud at the moment, is the one and only Jessie, Zona's mother, on a bullhorn, very much holding a hastily painted sign saying, "Sue Cyclone," as they sort of scurrying about, sort of really the only one there, just handing out pamphlets near the front door and just shouting out and about. But the individual that you see coming out with a couple of books in his hands is the great old Dr. Moran. You see he kind of is wearing his, normal professor fashion of like a dress shirt, and sort of tied up, sleeves out and about. But with that, as he opens the door getting out, he sees you coming and kind of waves you down. Are you going to talk to him or are you going to avoid the great old Doc?
Yeah, I'm his volunteer. Well, to be fair, I'm the town's volunteer. I think I do appreciate what he is doing. I just obviously don't like to talk during Wildfire Club, but getting over, certain discomfort, she goes up to exchange the social niceties and gives it. I think she's like smoking before heading to the library, so she like stamps it out. Doctor?
Hey, how you doing, kiddo?
She like squints at the kiddo, but she, speaks up again. Well, just I think keep him busy, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're on campus. You taking summer courses? I would have helped out if anything. I know tuition is a big thing around here, and I mean,
not anything like that. I'm just she's like realizing in her like words and mouth right now is that she's gonna lie to him, and says like, I've been getting my mind off things and wanted to look into some of the books that my parents have been telling me about. So
do me a favor.
I don't know.
It's charm roll, please. Difficulty 13. Be so kind.
13. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's
That's
a psychiatrist.
Okay.
You can't.
He's a
You're trying to
psychiatrist.
play a PhD.
I have a D6 in charm. That's a 2.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Take a diversity token there.
Mm-hmm.
With that, he kind of looks at you. Lizzie, it's particularly none of my business. But are you doing okay? I mean, I know you're trying to get your minds off of things, and I do have to let you know what you said last night. I think you made real progress, which I know for someone like you who's committed to helping everybody else around them, all I'm saying here is it's never wrong to ask for help. Is there anything I can do? You look like you're clearly distressed.
One of those buttons or pills or something that gives you a good night's rest. Or something along those lines, I think. I'm not doing well, doctor, but I think I just need to get my mind off of things and just keep busy for now.
You see, kind of, I'm not supposed to do this. And you see, he pulls out very quickly one of his prescription pads that he just kind of has in his like jacket. He writes you something real quick, and he goes, "What's your address again?"
Little bit old neighborhood address, blah blah blah, Boulevard.
Kind of writes it. Here you go. Now you need to take one at night. Any more, it can be kind of dangerous.
Okay.
And this is temporary. I'm not going to be giving this out again. This is just to help. I understand it's a very complex situation, but this is not the solution. This is like a band-aid, if anything.
Thank you, doctor.
Kind of puts it back. You didn't get that from me?
No. Some other doctor.
And he goes, I have a class I have to get to. If you are headed to the library, I think my lovely wife should be able to help you out. Look for Rosa.
I'll go say hi to Rosa. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, have a good one, Lizzie, and try to get some sleep.
I'll do my best.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
If only we're this easy to get tranquilizers around here. God damn.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you
Healthcare
got
system moves
them.
fast.
I know.
He's a drug pusher.
He's trying to help. Give the guy some credit.
He didn't even write a prescription or nothing. He just had those on him.
All you have to do is ask,
He wrote a
and then
prescription.
he'll
He
just give
wrote
it
a
to you.
prescription. You didn't just give pills. He wrote a prescription. That's why he asked for the address. So they have Lizzie. You have this paper if you want to cash it in a sense. But with that,
No consultation.
no consultation, just roll. With that, you proceed to walk in, and as you do, you can feel sort of the ever familiar tones of malevolence and dread. Did Lizzie go to community college, or they did
Yes,
high
I did.
school? And kind of,
I went to community college, yeah.
yeah, the feeling of dread that comes from this place, but also peace comes into your mind as you see the various familiar lights shining through the ramparts of this place. Primarily 3 levels to this lovely place on top of the archive that's down below. With that, as you sort of look over, you can see that the place is still filled to the brim with students, primarily trying to get out the heat for the most part. As some are stressing out over midterms, others are trying their best to get a quick nap in before they have to go to class, while others are actually studying. And there are the occasional goof-offs that are just fucking around the corner. But as you go through and forward, you find yourself at the front of the desk that where not only Rosa works, which you see an individual close and similar to Dr. Moran's age, like that sort of 40-ish area. You can see that she's just beginning to slightly gray, very much of like very thin sliver across their hair. They're very much in their getup, more accommodated to summer in this region, so very much light. Sort of jeans and a shirt. Their flannels kind of hanging off to the side. Not usually what people think of a librarian, but they're here to be comfortable at work, not necessarily live by code. And you see them pushing up their glasses. And onto the right of them, working one of their day jobs, is Cyrus, who is currently trying to organize and put books onto one of the nearby carts to sort of reorganize everything. You see Cyrus gives you a nod before they go about work, but Rosa very much comes up to you and go, oh, well, hi. Pleasure to see you, Lizzie. My husband's not here right now, if you're looking for him. If you need this stuff for the Wildfire Club, I can certainly give him a call and see what he needs for the next meeting, if you need that from me.
No. We just passed by each other outside, greeted, that kind of thing. I actually, I have an interest in, I think she pulling out the, like, crumpled up, like, newspapers and things like that. I found these, newspapers with under my parents' possession, I guess is the best way to describe it. And I've been thinking about them, obviously, and I wanted to see if you had any newspapers traveling back to this time or any books.
Yeah. If you just want to follow me, we can go downstairs. That's where the archive is. If we're looking for anything, it's gonna be down there. I will warn you, you're not the only customer here. Ava's mother is doing some research down there for Cyclone, so if you're not too worried about sharing the space with someone, I can take you down there right now.
Definitely not. That sounds fine.
All right, follow me. With that, you see they go in. Going to the elevator, you see they pull out a couple keys that they sort of have to put in as it unlocks the area of the archive. They don't just want anybody going down there. But as you go in, take the elevator down, you can feel immediately that the temperature shifts from the summer heat to just the cold, which is a bit refreshing, if anything. But as you do, opens up, and you see what's in front of you is 2 sets of stainless steel tables on either side of like this front entrance, and just row upon row of these boxes with various numbers and organizations. You can see that their lights are only on in areas where you need to be. You can see that Ava's mother is currently in one of the sections here. Rana is currently doing some work over in one of the nearby sections as they see you make a mental note and continue to do their work. But with that, Rosa kind of goes, the reference system of how this is organized, I did a bit of remodeling. I'm very happy. the way I reorganized everything, especially with the storm destroying some work here. So these are plastic gloves. Please use them and be very delicate with the older material. You can't be a little bit rougher around the edges for things, I would say, going back to the 50s, but if you go any further back, you gotta be really, really careful.
All right. Thank you.
That'll be lovely. And Rana, if you need anything, I am here as well. Lizzie's just doing some work, you see. Thank you, darling. I'm all good, thank you. I will leave you to it. I have a rare collection of encyclopedias to organize. I'm very excited. If you need anything, just give me a holler. As you see, they go up the stairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to basically not talk to Ava's mom as much as possible. Kind of stay fairly far away, and I want to, I think probably fully for the first time get into what the library, the newspaper clippings is saying. I think I have my own notebook and everything. I put the gloves on, and I think I try to start catching dates on the main crumpled wrapper, like pieces of information, and then start to triangulate what I need to be pulling out from.
If you want to be to, I'll be a little bit kinder here. I'll give you the dates, but in terms of information from those dates, you're gonna have to roll. So we'll do this all in one. So primarily the dates you see from pulling the pieces of paper, you get 3 here. First one that is from earliest to latest, you see 1982. It's the first sort of year that you get here. The next one you get after that is 1952, which is about 30 years later, or before technically. And then the last set you get here, which is the oldest possible here, is 1854, or the 3 sets of years that you get in terms of newspapers that were used to wrap this thing together. So you got 3 dates. I will say difficulty by 5 increasing here. So if you want to find any information, it's going to be a DC 5 for the 80s paper. Okay. If you want to get anything from the 1950s, that's going to be DC 10. And if you want to get anything from the 1854, that's going to be DC 15. So you can, I think if anything, you can just make this one roll, and then if you overgo it, that's fantastic. Okay. So make a brains check here, if you'd be so kind.
Brains is a D10. Oh, Jesus, that fucking sucked ass. Okay. I got a 3, so I'm going to use the adversity tokens to, I'm going to use 2 to get at least information about the 1982 paper.
Fantastic. With that, going through the archive is a bit difficult to try to find the older stuff, because it's not in the sense that you're not a smart person, it's just in terms of like the way it's organized, and then there's a bunch of papers within that year. It's very hard to match it given the opacity of the ink. But going through looking for 1982, you can see a number of things were happening that year round. The first and foremost was, it was the year Cyclone announced that the mall was going to be developed. It was the official announcement of, hey, we're making a mall, and this is going to be in the area. So it was the first big set of news of the mall coming up, which was kind of the main header. The thing that you notice, that you kind of go through the paper for a hot second, happens on page 6. So you have to kind of go down a bit. Going down, you can see page 6, there is a missing persons case or report. Primarily, you can see October, it's a little bit later on, but usually October 31st, a woman in their early 20s by the name of Amber Woods disappeared last night. The car was found late last night by authorities as the wet road conditions on the mountains skidded their car off and flipped it into the nearby woods. None of their belongings were found except, most of their belongings were found, except for a camera recorder, which was nowhere to be found. That was the only thing that was missing on top of everything they had. Authorities have arrested Cesar Moore and Randall Colt, as these 2 were the last individuals to see Miss Woods, but due to a lack of evidence, they were let go. If you have any information regarding Miss Amber Woods' location, please contact Officer Sean. And with that, you can see there's a picture of Amber on the side there, and also a picture of Cesar being arrested. The thing is, as you reference the rest of the year, that was the only time they were mentioned. There's no mention of the case closing. There's no mention of developments. It was literally, here's a missing person, and then that's it.
Fucking Randall cult, huh?
The paper also doesn't stipulate why. They just said they were the last ones to talk with them. They didn't necessarily say why they were brought in.
Yeah, okay. But they were the last to see her.
That's what the report says, anything.
That's what it says, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is enough, certainly, for... Lizzie just kind of, like, freezes, and, like, the chill that goes through her spine and, like, all the hairs on her arms just kind of stand up. All of this is so close to all of us. And that's just how small towns have always been. But the fact that Amber Woods is a name that exists out there, that potentially this is the name of a woman that we've never, I guess she had never met before, ever heard of.
Or just forgotten.
Maybe forgotten. Yeah, like she's just like, oof. And then just in case, she looks up to see if Rana is looking at her or is curious of what she's doing, or...
I guess curious, but not of like, I'm looking at what you... It's just very much of like, why are you here? Like, aren't you a bartender kind of vibe they're giving to you? Is that like, they're looking but not saying anything because it seems like you were trying to... You have a space that you're not really open to talking to anybody.
Yeah,
and on top of that, they didn't show up yesterday to the funeral, so it's kind of like...
I'm pissed about that. But it's hilariously one of those things where it's like, do I really confront this woman that I don't want to talk to about why she missed everyone's funeral? I can't do that right now. But, you know, there is still this, like, I think there's the weird frustration with Ava's mom on top of the, like, lack of decorum that she shared by not coming to the funeral is... Right now, Lizzie being freaked out by this information, even though she only got to 1982, is freaking her out enough that she's just like, let's just do our own thing. But yeah, I guess in terms of the other dates, Chris, would I be able to go back another time, essentially?
You could, but you're kind of running out of time here. As you're like,
yeah, exactly.
Just in case I gotta go and do anything else. You have a life and a job you have to kind of do, but...
Absolutely.
Beyond that, cool. You're kind of closing up shop. If you be so kind, I'll give you one last shot here for one thing. This is just a luck check, so I just need you to give me even or odd.
Even.
All right, I'm gonna roll. Odd. With that, just closing everything up, don't really notice anything else here. And with that, Rana kind of goes, have a lovely day, Lizzie.
Thank you. Bitch.
Do you really say that?
No, just like under her breath is just like, oh, you motherfucker. Yeah.
I will say, Rana was looking in terms of like old history there, so... It's also another person you really want to talk to. Maybe they know more about it than you do.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to talk to her.
With that, boom, 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 you go back up with some information at least to who to be looking for. But in terms of history and whatnot, not too much. Okay. But with that in mind, we're going to move on from you and go over to the lovely Zona here. With that, Zona, you driving up in your car, you kind of park off to the side.
Purple Chevy Impala.
Yeah, purple, very much of like, if anybody was gonna find where you are very easy to find in all this green.
Oh yeah.
Missing work, pull up,
yeah.
Park at the trail. Bit of a problem. As you kind of get out your car, trying to go to, you kind of have a good sense of where the trails are and everything. but as you pull up, you do notice there is yellow tape around the area. Primarily, you can see not necessarily like crime tape of like crime scene, but more of like a chemical hazard is on it in terms of what it's saying. As you see, it's roped up around kind of where the main entrance of the trail is. So I leave it up to you and what you want to do here, as you are currently the only one out and about here.
Okay. I'm the only one there. I'm fucking going over. I'm moving the tape. I'm just going. Like, I don't think Zona much cares for authority in general, but especially some random yellow tape. You can't tell me what to do. The hell. Also, I like how I slipped into her voice.
Fuck it. And just with that, you kind of look at it. It's almost like you stop, look at it, try to process it, and go, I'm not here for a long time, for a good time, and just go over her. And with that, make your way up the trail. If you weren't here to investigate, it would have been a peaceful time. And if anything, your dad loved the trails around here. He really knew all like the great spots in town of like, this is where you're the best place to go horseback riding. If you want to do a walk, this would be a great place here. So I'm very curious, how is Zona feeling doing a trail by themselves here?
I think Zona is honestly like, this is the moment where she allows herself to be sad. There's nothing like, there's no trying to be funny and lighthearted in it. There's no like focusing on work. Like, she's by herself. She's in a place that she would have gone to probably as a child with her dad. She's in a place that reminds her of everything terrible that happened, and she's alone. She's allowing herself to be like emotional in this moment, and I think enough time passes as she's checking this stuff out, she might like start tearing up a little, just thinking about why is he gone, you know? She only allows herself to get like this when she's alone. So, man, is there anything around that would immediately catch her eye though? Like, is off?
If you want to be so quick, I'll give you a little bit of an interesting thing here. Either you can roll wits if you're just going to be procedural, or if you want to be weird about it, you can roll your wildfire dice.
Ooh, I kind of want to roll my wildfire dice.
You want to roll your wildfire dice?
Remind me, that's a D6, right?
You're at a D4 right now, so everything should be a D4 for your wildfire.
D4. Okay.
Yes, and it explodes over. So for the lovely audience here, this is the official hack of Kids on Bikes, and there is a thing here called Wildfire dice. Primarily, this dice represents the sort of weird powers that our individuals have here, and each of them have their own sort of different sets, but primarily they start at a D4, and they explode all the way to a D20, and some things happen along the way that hopefully we'll get to here. So with that in mind, I'm going to set the DC here. Let's just set it to 5. So you want to explode at least once here with your wildfire die as you try to connect in your heart and try to figure out what's going on here. So need to explode.
No, I did not explode. I got a 1.
No, you got a 1.
God damn it. Why are we sending the dumbest one of us to investigate this trail? Okay, fuck.
With that, 2 adversity tokens, or what are you going to do here?
2 adversity tokens?
Yes.
I do have a question, though.
Yes.
Never mind, actually. I was going to say, my car, one of the upgrades, is tassel, so I would get a +1 to all checks while being chased, and I was wondering if, like, because someone's hunting me, if I'm maybe...
I don't think anybody's hunting you right now. Yeah, you're just walking.
Not at this moment? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle.
Thank you, Hamna. Someone here understands.
It was a reach, but I appreciate the reach.
It's like, clearly, I'm being hunted by some force that is the universe.
Yeah.
So can I?
Well, no, I
Exactly.
think Cam was trying to reference the park ranger Murray, who is
Yeah, I
technically
was trying to
hunting Zona.
Technically.
I was like, hey, but what if I did get a +1?
I don't think that would help.
Nice,
Because then it'd be
nice
a 2.
try. Yeah.
I'm so glad I have that upgrade though, because I'm gonna end up using that +1 a lot, I think.
Just buy your car. Help us, we're dying. Can I bring my car?
Literally.
Lovely.
Um,
As you are going through it, try to connect to that part of yourself. But I think the memory of your dad and the possibility that he killed people. I mean, your dad has hurt people, has protected you from assholes alike, but he's never really killed anybody who didn't deserve it, in a sense. He's always been self-defense. He's never been very much like a criminal in a sense. I mean, he's a cowboy. I mean, cowboys are cowboys, but it's a lot for you to take in. And as you're sort of thinking about it, you find yourself at the doorstep of the fire, as you almost like crossing in, very much like no man's land. It is just gray ash from everything that was burned down in this instance, as it goes for quite some time, or sort of quite a distance here, as you find yourself at the doorstep of this place.
I think this being like right here, I feel like Zona is kind of flooded with the memory of what had happened that night and how she chased her father, trying to get a sense of like, did he have this gun? Who is he going to like kill right now? Who is he going to protect? And I think she would start to retrace her steps of that chase and try and go down, instead of, following the steps of where she cut off to join Hamna and, or I called you by your actual name instead of your character name, to join Ava and Lizzie, instead being like, okay, well, where would, my dad have gone, and cut off the other way down that hallway. How stable is this building as I'm walking through?
It's semi. So you gotta watch your step where you're going. So if anything, if something happens, you're gonna have to make a flight check. But for now,
I'm a little worried about that. Okay.
Walking through. With that in mind, I'm gonna need a brains check here. Primarily, what are we particularly looking for? You're just retracing steps? Is there anything you're looking for?
I'm retracing steps. I'm gonna see. Honestly, I'm looking for like shell casings, because he had a gun with him. I want to know if that gun was used. I want to see if the gun was actually there. Any clue as to like what might have happened with him. So shell casings, if there's a gun. Also, like, just for me, are there footsteps of anyone else that had been here in the ash?
Okay. For that, I will say, just for basic information, we're gonna hit. Let's see if we get an 8. So we're trying to get a DC 8 here.
On brains.
On brains, yes.
Okay. I'll need to
You got tokens too, in case you want to add. So you do have that as well.
And doing one adversity token gets me +1, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do. I can't stack those, can I?
You can roll first to see what you get, and then you can just add as many as you want.
Okay, I'm gonna roll, and we'll see. Oh, I exploded.
Fantastic. Roll another D6 then.
And then a 1 for 7.
So you got a 7.
Wait, yeah, a 7. And what was the DC that I needed?
I believe I said 8.
Right?
Yes. So you can add an adversity token and get there.
To +1, and I'll take that down to a 5 adversity tokens that I have now.
Fantastic. With that in mind, you begin to try to retrace your steps. You have to be careful, And luckily with your brains roll, you're able to sort of hop or jump over certain areas. You can see that it's almost like a creaking sound that this place gives off as parts of it are burned off. You have to be careful where you step, as you see, like, as you jump off of one thing, it just immediately goes down. But with it, you get to kind of like, not necessarily like a helipad area, but like the top ramparts of where the, where
Actually,
yeah.
I apologize. I misread the dice on play roll. And
Just lie, Cam.
I rolled a 1. I apologize. I thought that it
What?
rolled a 6 and then rolled again automatically. I rolled a 1. So rather than that, I will take
2 more adversity
would take
tokens.
Yeah, I'll take 2 adversity tokens. I'm so sorry about that. That was on me.
You're good.
So I lied. I'm sorry.
And you're banned. No, you are okay. So all that still
I'm so
happens.
sorry
You
about that.
get up there, but in terms of finding anything, you don't find much. Primarily because there was a fire, an explosion, and chemicals that would melt most evidence that's around the area. Especially with it being metal, it probably is melted into the floor itself. So going about, you don't really find much. Yeah, but the only thing you do notice is that for some odd reason, near kind of the edge, there seems to be some blue flowers growing, which is a bit strange.
I'm gonna pick those flowers. And I'm taking photos and stuff as I'm going too. But I'm picking those flowers. Hopefully they're not poisonous.
From what you can tell, they're not, but it's the only strange thing about it is that they're growing without any soil. So that's the kind of strange thing about it.
Oh, they're growing from the ash?
They're growing from the ash and the metal. And you see that as you kind of pick it up, the roots itself are kind of, they adapt into the metal, but as you pull it out, it becomes more dirt-like in nature.
Interesting. Do they have any smell to them?
Just like ash, I guess, or the fire itself.
They smell like the fire itself.
Yeah, a bit of a chemical haze to it a little bit as well. So it's a combination of smells. But almost like if something was left here, it burned and then sort of like that ash, or, usually when you get like ash or anything on you, it kind of stays and smells for a bit. It's kind of the same thing you're getting from these flowers.
Okay. And I didn't see any footsteps in the ash or anything like that.
With your roll, you didn't see anything, so stuff
Okay,
got covered up.
Fair. All right. Can I take hold on. Looking back at the video, they were on the trail in the video, right?
Yeah, from what you're kind of remembering, they were at like the doorstep of the trail, so very much of like, the entrance where it says, this is the yada 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 trail, and this is the path you should be taking. That's where the parents met up.
Okay. I'm gonna take one kind of last look around if there's anything that feels out of place here. But I mean, I wouldn't have like been inside this place all that often. And then I would love to go to the entrance and look around like where the thing was actually filmed to see if there's any evidence of like something funky going on. I don't know if there's like some fabric from like what they were wearing, like snagged on a tree or a bush or something. I'm kind of reaching at the moment.
So you can retrace the entrance of the trail in terms of like when you talked with Frank of like, you have any footage of Lizzie's parents there? You can go there. In terms of the footage that was later on with the murder and whatnot, you don't know where that is. So you wouldn't really know what to look for. But you can go to the entrance of the trail.
Look for the entrance of the trail. Okay, I'm gonna look around the entrance of the trail and see if there's anything funky, possibly, or any like, if there's like maybe, oh, you know what? Oh my God. So there's the main trail.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any like man-made ones in the woods I could follow, like from repeated like
Usage.
Like anything that I might not have noticed, like if there's a lot of like grass down or like, you know, it's that kind of thing. I'd like to look for something like that.
You give me one last check here. So with that, you could, for expediency's sake, make a brains check. Let's call it. Let's do a DC 8 again. So try to get that bad boy here.
Please. Okay, a 4. Okay. I'm gonna straight up. I'm spending 4 adversity tokens to
that
get
is,
that 20.
You can
I
do that.
don't give a shit. I am succeeding at something in this life.
So you make it rain as you just adversity token. And with that, going about looking for something man-made, you do notice there is a couple of footprints here that were not, because of the sense of they are not on the side of the wildfire, so they were imprinted here. Kind of going off to the side, following these footprints, you can see there is a canister of leaking oil and chemicals that is just there. It looks like somebody left it there, and hoped that nature would just take its course and just consume it. But you can see just a big old Cyclone logo on the top of it. And with it's got a bunch of fancy, name for chemical. But primarily, you can see what looks like to be kind of like a reactor logo on it, like a nuclear reactor logo. So it's very much of like that sort of the tall sort of building and the smoke coming out of it is what you can see on sort of one of the sides of it. So someone used this and left it here.
Picture. And I'm taking that shit. And is it labeled with what kind of oil it is? Or anything?
Believe it or not, you kind of just on the side trying to see because it is dripping. It doesn't look like oil. It looks like coolant.
Coolant?
Yeah, like it's a chemical that's meant to like. It's like in a way to describe it. More in a sense of it's a kind of chemical that's meant to cool something that's very hot, is what you can tell, because it's very much whatever it's dripping in. The area frosts up, even though it is summer. So it's very reactive.
So out of left field, but I'm going to try this out. I still have the flowers, right?
Yeah.
Can I take one of the flowers and see if they react at all to this chemical?
With it, you put it on ever so slowly, being careful because again it has like a very giant exclamation point on it. Do not touch with your hand. But as it touches one of the nearby petals, you see that it begins to, and almost like frost begins to go on the front of the petal that it's strapped on.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Cool. The frost pattern, is there anything unique about that, or is it just a frost?
You see, like, you kind of like twirl it about as you sort of pull it away and the heat kind of begins to come back, it dissipates. You can see that this flower essentially adapts to whatever it touches, which is kind of weird.
That is very funky. Okay. I'm taking this too. This is also now in my...
Are you taking the canister or just the flower?
I'm taking the canister and the flower. I'm taking everything. I'm popping that shit in my bag. I'm taking pictures first so everyone can see how they were when I found them. But I'm popping that shit in my bag. And I think, like, Sona... Ooh, you know what? I'm going to test something out, too, with this flower again.
I would say you get one more shot here, and then if you're going to take this canister, I'm going to need a flight check. Because you do notice, you notice that echoing in the woods, somebody on an ATV is driving around.
Motherfucker. Okay. I'm taking, okay.
So you have a choice here. Either you can test this flower one more time, or you just take this canister and leave it.
I'm taking the canister and going. Oh, okay.
All right. I need a flight check. Let's make it. I haven't really noticed it yet, so I'll give it a good old 6.
Oh God, I have a D8 for fucking hell, a 3. Shit. Can I use my adversity? Oh no, but if I do that, I can't do my other thing. Okay.
You need I believe you should still have adversity tokens, so you can
I have
make
four.
it.
I have 4 adversity tokens. I'm getting out of here. I have 1 adversity token now left. I'm using 3 to bump it up to a 6.
Fantastic. You can hear just as somebody's coming over, but with that you immediately just grab this canister, trying to find a safe place, very much almost like using your shirt to like grab it and move it to the side. But with that, you shuffle to your car, get in, and immediately just bang out of there as you have this flower and this canister just in the trunk of your car as you
Running. Oh fuck. Oh god. Okay.
With that, I'm gonna switch over to our last one, Ava. Ava. With that, are you calling Frank or are you showing up to his place of work at the moment?
I think that Ava would call him first, and then with the hopes of like inviting Frank over to watch the VHS tape. Because I think that he thinks that there's no way Frank is going to believe them unless he sees it for himself. You've been
watching too many alien movies, man. You need to like calm down with that. So he kind of gives you like the whole nerd out, but then with it he goes, look, I got a lunch in a couple minutes. I'll head over to your house, Lizzie's house. Whose house am I going to?
I'm posted up at Lizzie's house right now, so if you want to show up here.
Gotcha. All right, pulling up. Couple minutes pass, and with that you see he pulls up in his very much beat up car, and with that kind of comes out, knocks on the door, and you see as he's very much still dressed up in his driving uniform with very much like the little sailor hat as well that you usually see with diners, he kind of shows up and goes, okay, Lizzie's tape as requested. As you see, he holds a VHS, he holds a tape in his hand. He kind of goes, is this what you're talking about? Because it makes no sense, whatever you're talking about here.
Sorry, is he holding like a new tape for Lizzie in his hands?
He's holding a tape that says, from Lizzie's parents to Lizzie.
Oh. I think Ava looks confused at that and says, I don't know anything about that. Just come on in. The tape that you left for Lizzie last night, there's something wrong with it.
Okay, let me offer you a rebuttal. I didn't come here last night.
But you left a tape. Are you saying that you, like, threw the tape across town and it landed at Lizzie's doorstep?
This is the tape. Dude, this is the tape.
What?
I don't know what other tape you're talking about. I didn't come here yet. I'm still working on it.
I think Ava like goes to the counter where we have kept the tape and holds it up and says, then who left this?
Not me. Look at that shoddy piece of crap. I take pride in what I make here, okay?
Wait, you're being serious? You didn't leave this?
No, I didn't leave your dirt-written VHS tape, dude. How does that even work? Jesus, it looks like it was made by Band-Aid and put together.
Okay, so somebody, if it wasn't you, then somebody showed up to Lizzie's house last night and left this tape on her doorstep. Lizzie thought it was you because she was expecting a video from you.
No, this is the video. Again, it's just a bunch of, family vacations and,
Hold on.
a couple of...
You gotta see what's on this tape.
Okay? I swear, if it's some weird Mormon, sex shit, I'm not gonna...
It's not... What?
I'm out.
What are you talking... Okay, Frank, just sit down.
These religious folks can get a bit freaky. I'm just saying.
I don't think that Lizzie's parents were Mormons. And Ava will move over to the TV set and we'll put the tape in, rewind it, and play it for Frank all the way through.
Fantastic. Play it all the way through. You see, he goes, oh, what the fuck? Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
So you see why we're concerned, right?
Well, clearly, you guys have been really upping your cinema game.
We didn't make this. I'm telling you, somebody left it on Lizzie's doorstep last night. We have no idea who made this, who some of those people are. Do you recognize any of the others that were there? I mean, there's Lizzie's parents and Mr. Holloway, but the others, I don't know who they are.
I may need a charm roll for you to persuade lovely Frank here that this is actually real.
Oh my
with
god.
that in mind, I'm going to say DC, let's make it an 8. DC 8. Try to convince your boy here.
Okay. Does Frank count as a peer for me?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I get a +3 to persuade peers. So I'm gonna roll my charm, which is a D10, and then I'll add 3 to that roll. I got a 9.
Fantastic. So you get it in. He goes, are you telling me that I just am accountable to a conspiracy to murder? I just watched murder. You let me watch a murder.
Okay, I didn't think about it like that, but...
So whoever's on this tape, all right? 3 individuals have watched it, not me. So now, good old Frank here is now gonna be chased by fucking cultists.
Okay, well, they don't know that you've seen it, so just don't tell anybody that you've seen it. But Frank, focus, please.
Okay, all right.
Do you recognize the other 3 people in the tape?
I do not, but I can tell you, you are looking for 2 feminine figures and a male.
Okay. Okay. That doesn't really help that much, but thank you. There's nothing you can tell me about this at all? Anything about, I don't know, the camera that was used, or do you know anyone else in town that likes to film things? Do you have like a club or something that you go to?
I don't have a club. I'm not a nerd. I don't have a club.
Okay, it's not just nerds that have clubs. Okay, anyway. Point being, do you know anyone that might have filmed this?
Well, I don't want to add more concern to you, but you can tell that this tape was kind of stitched together. Originally must have been destroyed. You can see he kind of plays it back, rewinds. There's a couple of white frames in here, a couple of shoddy workmanship, and to be honest, the only other person I can think that can do a job like this is me. I didn't work on this, I can tell you that. I'm the only person who has the actual expertise on top of the tools to actually work on doing this kind of reconstruction. There's a couple of kids that are amateurs over at the community college, but this requires a master.
And you mean that? You're not just saying that because you don't want there to be competition in town for filmmaking or anything like that? This isn't like an ego thing, is it?
No, it is not an ego thing. I'm being genuinely truthful. I'm the only person in town that can actually do this kind of work. And I didn't work on it, or at least I don't remember.
Do you have memory lapses? Is there a possibility that you've forgotten that you worked on it?
Well, I work on so much shit, sometimes I don't even look what the film is. I just, clip it together, send it over. People usually don't complain. Restoration's not too hard once you get the hang of it.
Do you keep a record of all of the work that you do?
Yeah, my little notebook here.
Do you mind if I take a look at that and just see who's hired you recently?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I hand over the book to you.
And
just be careful. I have, some of my clients, it's not criminal per se, it's just frowned upon things that they do.
Don't worry, I don't give a shit. And Ava is gonna flip through the notebook. If there's you know how cameras back in the day used to have the date on the recording that we could reference. So if there is one of those, like on the clip that we watched on the VHS tape, Ava's going to start from that date and then go to the present and see if there's any like unusual clients or anything that feels suspicious or like there's not enough information being given about the work.
I'm going to need a brains check from you here, if you'd be so kind.
Okay,
I'm going to say
okay.
DC 10. If
Oh,
we're trying to find specific names, a little difficult.
DC 10 brains. Okay, my brains is a D8, so I have to blow up, and I have no adversity tokens, so we just gotta hope. Nope, I got a 2.
Fantastic. Adversity token for yourself there.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, going through, you can see that he's not a very good organizer. Just because you have names in a book, his handwriting is like a child. You can see that it is organized in not necessarily a cipher, but you would think it is in the way he writes it. He's just horrible. He misspells names as well, so he's not the best. He understands it because he wrote it, but beyond that, you're not seeing anything out of the ordinary. If you're trying to see recently, from what you can tell, not being any specifics or anything that would be like, this person is definitely being weird, you notice that he did work for Lizzie's parents, he did work for your parents, and he also did work for Cassidy Kane, so Cyrus's dad. Those are kind of his most recent clients here.
I'm just writing this down because I will forget this.
Please do.
Okay, there we go. Okay. I think Ava, exasperated, will close the book and go, I can't tell shit. Is there any way that you could get me, like, a photocopy? Wait, actually, do photocopiers exist in the 80s? I don't know when they were invented.
Yes.
Okay,
I believe
cool.
they do, yes.
Okay, cool. Alright.
We get a Xerox.
Ava is going to hand the notebook back to Frank and ask, is there any way that you could get me a photocopy of all of the stuff in here from this date to today?
Sure, yeah. I can give it to you at the party. Is there anybody in particular you're looking for?
I honestly have no idea at this point, so just all of it would be good, and then we will sit down and I guess try to decipher this code that you've written.
All right. Also, I am going to be your basis for tonight, so I will be there bright and early, boss. Or technically late, or well, not late, but night and whatever the term is. I'll be there.
And Ava, I think, like, raises an eyebrow at him because Ava's the bassist for the band, and so he's like, oh, what?
Well, Cyrus said you're taking lead, right? So
I figured that I would just do both. But okay, yeah, no, it's fine.
Have you ever heard of a
if
lead
you're-
bassist? Like, that's kind of... I haven't heard of a lead bassist. Have you heard of a lead bassist?
Well, sometimes we can try new things and push the boundaries of, it's whatever. If you want to play tonight, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, and also, like, I just want to, just between us, you don't have to, prove anything to anybody. I mean, I know with Cameron being God and everything, you're trying to keep your band alive, and that's, it's admirable, but you don't have to. You do know that, right?
I mean, I'm sure you can understand as somebody who also, makes films in this case, but I don't play music because I have to. I play music because I like to. I'm not going to stop just because Cameron died.
Yeah, but, the Pistons are coming into town, and they're really good.
And we're
you may have
better.
had a shot with Cameron, but now he's gone.
Okay, well, Frank, if you're gonna have that attitude, maybe you should sit out tonight.
And give you guys a 2-person band against a 4-piece?
It's not the number of people that determine the quality of the music, Frank.
Well, I'm doing it for Cyrus, not you. So I'll help, but I'm just letting you know you don't have to, I don't want to sound like a dick, embarrass yourself?
Fuck you, Cyrus. Fuck you, Frank. Just get me the photocopies and I'll see you tonight.
All right, boss. Gotcha. With that kind of walks out. With that, time passes, and all of you at this point meet up maybe a little bit late in the afternoon, as the party is going to get started soon, as you all reconvene back in Lizzie's house with the information that you have. You kind of share everything just to get it out the way, as you kind of present everything very much of like in the living room table of like a canister, a flower, what you remember from the sort of journal entries, and then Lizzie with what you got from the newspaper there, as it's all in front of you with all you have gathered.
Okay, what the fuck is all this? And Ava points to the canister and the flower that Zona has left on the counter.
I found it outside, and I thought, why not bring it?
I don't.
What
okay.
did you learn?
Wait! Watch this though. And Zona is gonna take the flower and dip it in the coolant and like show, and then
With that, you put the flower, put the coolant, and you see that he immediately just eats the leaf, and the leaf just dissipates.
well, this isn't what happened before. Hold on. I got another thing. Lizzie, give me that ladder you got. I'm gonna try setting, like, not the whole flower, but like one of the flowers, because there was a bunch of them, like a little one on fire, to see if it...
You see Zona begin to just light a piece of flower in the middle of your living room as the incredible fire hazard, as it just begins to eat away at it, burning and burning and burning as it gets into your fingertip, Zona, and you have to drop it.
Okay, well, stomp it out. Before, I swear, it was like reacting in a funky way, you know? It was like,
If
it had a frost on
start
it.
another fire in my fucking house,
I have never started a fire in your house except for that one time. And that was some years ago. So, hold on now. I swear though, guys, these flowers weren't being funky.
I believe you. It's just a little hard to know what exactly. Maybe it has something to do with where you were, like
maybe
the environment or something was important, and it's just not doing it here.
We could go back, but I was just over by where the fire started on the trail. This was off the trail, and she holds up the Kool-Aid slightly, whereas like more near the head, and the flowers were like actually in the building. They were grown from the ash. They weren't even grown from the soil. I've never seen flowers like this.
Me neither. I'm not a botanist, but that doesn't feel like the correct conditions for a flower to grow.
Not at all.
there are some mushrooms that grow after forest fires, but this isn't. Obviously, that's not this case. Huh.
You guys find anything?
So, I think putting down some of the notes that she took and like putting at least the 1982 newspaper. Looks over at Ava. Your mom was working on some old. She was in the archive at the same time that I was, apparently.
Did you see what she was working on?
I felt like if I were to address her in any way, I would absolutely start to ask why she didn't go to the funeral. Realize in that moment that was not going to be a productive situation for either of us.
Probably not.
Okay. But what I got out of it is that apparently there was the missing persons case in 1982, Halloween. Amber Woods. This is her. This is what she looked like. This is her name. And then kind of like maybe. I guess I couldn't get like a picture of her face or anything.
Yeah, in terms of what you can see, it's a picture that they must have got from some sort of vacation or something as they're sort of smiling. Another Desi woman that you can see here. Bright smile, hair. They do have what looks like to be maybe a nose piercing that they kind of had on at that time. But for the moment, smiling seems to be maybe roughly around, maybe slightly older than what you guys were at that time. So very much maybe early 20s or like kind of pushing it a little bit older.
Okay. The car went off the trail. They couldn't find the camera recorder from what seemed to naturally belong to her. And that Cesar and Randall Colt from Cyclone were arrested because they were the two guys that saw Amber Woods last. And I didn't realize that. Is this a name?
Yeah, I know Cesar.
So
From the music
do you
scene.
think does he seem like the kind of guy who'd kidnap a girl?
I mean, does any guy seem like the kind of guy who'd kidnap a girl? I feel like you'd never know until it happens.
Most men do.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but the case were closed. There were no new developments, and Officer Shaw is the one that all the contact info sort of left under his name.
well, I mean, Cesar, I think is supposed to be at the concert tonight, so we could talk to him then.
Oh, we're gonna talk to him.
Yeah, and Randall too. I feel like I don't really have the best relationship with the Cyclone employees as much as one might think because of my parents. But if anyone's feeling nice,
Don't they gotta like respect you or something? You're royalty, ain't you?
well, I don't know about that, but it's more so I don't like talking to them. You know, they expect me to love Cyclone.
Rank, Princey? Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, they expect me to say nice things about Cyclone because my parents work for them and expect me to be excited about the mall that's being built and everything. And it's kind of exhausting.
That's not fair.
But
I got a question. We're not going to the police with this, are we?
In my experience, the police tend to hinder more than they help.
especially if Cyclone's involved, I just don't know if this town would be.
Also,
Do the
sometimes you
cops-
gotta do things that the police wouldn't like. So
Do the cops like Cyclone, Chris? Like, is there a lot of...
I didn't necessarily like Cyclone, but they do their job in a sense. It's like if they would do a crime, they're gonna pull up. They're going to make sure that somebody is held responsible. But they're not just gonna answer to everybody's hoot and holler, because it's very much of like, Cyclone's the boogeyman. Like, oh, my cattle died. Must have been Cyclone. What's that? Your cat's gone? Must have been that Cyclone bastard. So they've got a lot of like, Cyclone's responsible for everything. It's like, okay, folks, they're responsible for some things, not everything. So when you have a legitimate claim with proper evidence, we will investigate.
I mean, the cops have been presented with some stuff, and they haven't really done shit, you know? Like this disappearance, they couldn't do anything, but we, working outside the law...
You know, I was thinking as well, Lizzie, you said that this Amber Woods wasn't found with a camcorder, right?
Yeah.
And we have a tape of somebody being traced by cultists who witnessed a murder. What are the chances it's the same person? And this is some sort of missing tape from her missing camcorder.
Then who would have gotten the camcorder and sent it over to us? And
See,
why?
and I think Ava crosses his legs on the chair that he's at and leans in towards Zona and Lizzie. See, that's the thing though, is Frank might have worked on this. I talked to him earlier and he said that this video has clearly been stitched together and restored, like it's really old and was destroyed at first and had to be restored, brought back, cleaned up, and that he doesn't really remember whether or not he worked on it, but that there's no one else in town, according to him, that could have done it. I asked him.
No one else in town could have done it. Oh.
That's what he says. And I asked him to see his past clientele. For God's sake, I could not read his writing. So I've asked him for photocopies of his record so we can maybe try and decipher it later. But whoever it is might have hired Frank to create that video.
Did you get the tape that he was actually trying to send, by the way?
Yeah, I assume he
About
left
table?
it on the table.
Yeah,
Ava
in
would
the
not have
corner.
looked at it or anything, but would have directed you to it at some point to be like, that's the tape that you were actually looking for.
Think there's something on the actual tape you were looking for?
Nothing that I want to get into right now, I think.
So,
You do notice the sun's going down. It's getting nighttime, which means party's about to start.
goddamn.
I think we got a couple people that we need to talk to.
Yeah, we do.
We do this together, or we do this separate? What's the plan of attack here?
I think we all need to drive there ourselves. Just in case. You, looking at Ava, need to make sure that these people don't sign those affidavits.
Yeah, if Cyclone's...
And then you...
If Cyclone's tied up in cult shit, then I think that's important.
Zona, you and me, we see if we can find Cesar, Randall, any of them.
I'll take care of it. It might be beneficial too when we're out in all these public events for people to not know, we've been spending time together.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, it's a small town, but...
People talk.
Yeah.
I don't want the wrong person hearing we're talking and getting good at hiding. So, we'll find Randall and Cesar.
Yep.
All right. And I give you also, while I'm here, I'll give you the camera. And be like, I just took photos, where I could.
Sorry, are you giving it to Lizzie or to Ava?
Oh, to Lizzie.
Okay.
The camera? Or wait, sorry, what did you say?
I'm giving you the camera, too, also. I don't remember, was it a Polaroid? So, the pictures automatically
yeah.
get out?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you the camera and show the Polaroid and just be like, this is our evidence right here, but, it's just what I showed you.
I'll keep this locked up, just in case.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Lock things up. Some of you have to get dressed and put various effects on. But with that, you all drive out in the dead of night to Riot Night. And with that, let's go take a quick break. So with that, everyone, we're going to take a quick break here. So use a baño, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be right back, folks. See you in a hot second. Hello, citizens, watchers, grand audience. Welcome to the second half of third episode of the Wildfire Club. With that in mind, let's get back into this official Kids on Bike hack here. With that in mind, some time has passed, and each of you are driving individually, but are kind of arriving at the same time. So wee hours of the night, sun is completely gone, and as you drive through the woods, you begin to take a bit of a turn off, away from the, light post and sort of where all the electricity is, into a little bit of the secluded area. Parking here is a bit strange, to say the least, as you sort of driving down the dirt road and park where you can see there's a number of other cars. Luckily, the headlights help you sort of navigate. I should park here. But all these cars are sort of secluded in this foresty area to sort of hide them away from anybody seeing what's going on. As you each get out of your cars and get ready, you can see there's a number of lookouts just hiding in the trees and just keeping a lookout in case anything goes about and people need to, scatter quite quickly, as you only have the sounds of the night. But in the distance, you begin to hear the muffles of a party. With that, as you guys make your way up, you find yourself at what looks like to be sort of the muffled sounds of heavy rock and sort of the colors that are emanating from this building. There are various rainbow hues emerging. As you get closer and closer, you can see what looks like to be this very old and dilapidated abandoned mine processing facility that is sort of full of graffiti, and generally there is a sign of a name that is going on here, but graffiti over it, you can see it says Devil's Grotto on it, as there is a bunch of people out here hanging out around the building in various dress up or just came as they are. Some people from town, some people out of town, and just a general sense of a bunch of rockers and people that are looking to have a good time here. As you guys pull up into the entrance of the mine, you can see that even though you have gotten this mine and you kind of got everything ready to go, there's still areas of it in which you don't really have access to. As you can see, like the main entrance tunnel into the mines themselves is locked by like a steely fence, and it's like locked and has a bunch of information on it of like warning to go in here, especially when it rains. Tunnels can flood, so a lot of warnings for people not to go. But you make your way in, little resistance, and you can see the full breadth of this place, as most of the machinery has been, per your instructions, Ava, to make it up to code, have been taken out and put off to the side to give the most space for people to dance. You see there's a makeshift bar in one of the nearby corners giving out drinks, and there's about a modest stage that is being set up while just general rock music is being played as everybody's getting set up and things. Along the wall of this place, I'll get you in a hot second, Joe. Along the wall of this place, you see there is an impossible amount of names that are written in all kinds of, handwritings that you can see here. As everybody's either scratched it in, marked it in with a marker, or sprayed on it, making it very much like a community hub. You can just leave your name here, very much like the Iron Bulb. And you also do notice there is a tip jar at the front of this place for tonight revenue, as I think you're raising money. Just you see somebody had the idea of like raising rent money for somebody in town that especially got affected by fire, so you can see there's just a jar. You do notice there is a couple of people from the city just give it a side eye, just like, it's just a jar and I can just easily just yeet and then run out. But there's luckily enough people in here that's like, don't you fucking try it, buddy, here. But entering in, you're kind of not, you notice everybody, but you're not together. So what are you guys doing in this instance as you enter in and people are just coming on about? And I'll start off with you, Joe, because you wanted to have something to ask.
What is the lighting situation? Are we using oil lamps? Is it like actual like electric lights that are being fed? Like, I guess kind of what did we decide / what is actually something that can happen.
My thought is the thing that requires arguably like the least setup / towing that line between easy to set up but not too dangerous is those like makeshift, not quite floodlights, but like lights that they set up at construction sites.
Yes.
I think
right,
we
okay.
have acquired a bunch of those and put those inside of the tunnels at
Fantastic,
like
even
regular
better.
intervals.
Okay, those don't like you're talking about like the ones that are like single light bulbs with like the little cage around them, that thing, or like the big ones.
No, I'm talking about the big ones.
Okay, those things they overheat sometimes. Right?
Oh, okay. Well,
no.
It's
I'm
a
asking
mistake that can
for
be
Joe.
well,
We tried.
But if that is the case, I think, I mean, even in play, which is really funny. I think even in play, it could be Lizzie suddenly like stopping to see one of the big floodlights and then like looks at Arizona, who knows, and then looks at Ava. These are the lights?
it was what we had access to.
Good enough for a construction site. I don't see why that's dangerous at all.
Do you feel how hot it's getting inside?
I will say,
Oh, all the better. Make it hot. People take their clothes off, dance more. It'll be good.
I will say also, Ava, they did, because some of the stuff, especially for like band stuff, does require electricity. So there's a generator out back on the side as well that's currently booting up, and just they have it running to run any of like the lighting and stuff. So
Perfect. Ava turns to Lizzie and says, "We can turn some of the lights off so that it's less hot. Create bigger intervals between lights. I mean, people will be okay, right?"
Make sure when somebody gets up on that stage that there is some semblance of exit plan.
All right.
Okay?
All right. All right.
Okay, let's do this.
And I think as you're getting your bearings, as you're getting everything, you, Ava, hear just the loudest, "Hey, you guys!" coming from the corner. As you can see, pulling up, a group of 4 rowdy-looking individuals covered almost in like David Bowie-esque makeup with black leather on, pulling up. You can see the Pistons. These are the premier rockers from the city that have come to take your spot, and the lead asshole leading all these individuals is the one and only Ram Green. That's probably not his name, but that's how he goes.
Ram.
You see, pulling up around your age, you can see haircut, slight 5 o'clock shadow, and kind of goes, well, my man, if it isn't Ava.
Motherfucking city folk. And Ava will turn to Ram and the rest of the Pistons and will say, "Didn't get lost on the way here, I see. What a shame."
I couldn't get lost to Loserville. Give me some. And you see someone who's like slaps him on the side. Yeah, boy.
I'm surprised anybody let you in.
Well, I'm just here to be a good Samaritan. You know what it is.
Oh, good Samaritan. Okay, Lizzie, if you could you direct Ram and the rest of the Pistons to the mutual aid table? You want to be a good Samaritan, right? You can help contribute to rent this month.
No problemo, kiddo. You see he pulls out his wallet. 100. Dumps it in. Daddy's got a new record deal. That's right. 5 figures. Give me some again. You see one of the guys goes, "Yeah, Graham, you got this."
Okay, I've had enough of this. The stage is right over there, and we will be going on relatively soon. Feel free to do sound check and whatever else that you need. Also, feel free to exit the tunnels as well. if you so
Well,
feel,
I
at any point.
just want to say, do you really want to commit career suicide up there? You're going against the Pistons, baby, and last I checked, you ain't got your boy Cameron.
I
Rest
think
in
we'll
peace,
survive.
the man.
Yeah.
A Catholic.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
God is good. God is great.
I'm sorry, your name is Pissin?
No, you see the other guy. No, piston. Piston, like, you know, like a car. When you go real fast, you need pistons.
When you go fast, you need to piss?
That's not exactly what it means. But anyway, as he kind of pushes
I just
his
don't
face
know
out
why.
the way.
Hold on. Oh. I was just saying, I don't know why y'all call yourself what I do when I'm too drunk. When I have too much water. Damn, I mean, fuck. You're 2 inches away from calling yourself the shits.
You see there's a couple people that go, look, we can make fun of the name all night. You don't see me coming up to you, telling about your accent coming from what, fucking John Wayne movie? Like, come on. You need to be better than that.
I'm gonna
Write yourself.
push.
Read a
You have
book.
to say about my accent.
I push
Listen, boy.
Ram. Like, just kind of like slightly to like. It's like more of like a shoulder tap situation as Lizzie just sort of like puts herself in between the two of them. Go do your sound check.
I dig it. I dig the vibe. I see you on the stage. Can't wait to murder ya. And you see he kind of goes, give me another one.
Oh, I hate those motherfuckers so much.
Can I shoot that guy?
Not in here. There's too many people. Close proximity. But if you take them out back, be my guest.
You give me the word, sweetheart.
Doesn't say anything, but
Lovely, lovely. I will say, for as everything's going on, everything's going as you're about to split up, you, Lizzie, see walking across, very much dressed up for the event as well, sort of 80s flair to them, is Lola. And I will say, just for you, personally, just to really dig it in, most beautiful you've ever seen them, as they walk almost like a dream floating across.
excuse me. Leaves the two of you to like go where Lola is.
Can I please roll to see if I caught that vibe? Can I please?
I'd like to get in on that too.
Yes!
Are you hiding it, Lizzie? You know what? Lizzie, flight check. My other two.
Sure.
So, Lizzie, you go first. Let's see how much they have to beat here.
Oh Jesus. My
And you said
fly's a
charm
D8.
for us?
It's charm for the two of you as you're trying to see, like, what's
6.
going on. 6. You gotta beat a 6. So,
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
2.
Okay. 2 adversity tokens.
Okay. Let me check. I also got a 2.
God damn it. We both-
You see very much full Olympic sprint into the crowd as Lizzie just goes in and disappears into the crowd. You lose them completely in this place. And especially, I think, Ava, you see Cyrus is like, yo, we gotta go! And kind of trying to call you over.
I think as Zona and Ava are like trying to like suss the vibe of Lizzie, why she suddenly needs to run. It's one of those like I'm imagining like a sitcom moment of we both look at each other and go, huh? And then hearing Cyrus, Ava will pat Zona on the back and say, "Hey, I gotta go get ready. You're all good, right?"
Yeah, I'm all good. Oh, but before you go, and Zona will take out her wallet and hand you a 20 to donate.
Thank you, Zona.
There you go.
And you remember what Cesar looks like, right? I gave y'all the description before?
Yeah, I remember. I'll take care of the bastard.
Okay. If I happen to see him, I'll try and discreetly signal from on stage, but... Alright.
Alrighty.
I'll see you. And Ava will go passing by the table, putting Zona's donation into the jar before heading over to Cyrus on stage.
With that, we're going to follow you a little bit here as we go over. Following suit, you see Cyrus very much dressed up as well for the occasion. You see Frank on the side also as well. He kind of gelled his hair, so it's very much in a mohawk at the moment. And he goes, I am ready to shaka bra.
No, you cannot. If you're going to join the band, you cannot behave like that.
I understand, my rowdy.
Right. Just don't say anything. And I assume Cyrus gave you the sheet music for our songs. Yeah.
I understand. I play the silent character. Those are the ones with the most complexion. He thinks it's an acting gig. You see, guys goes over. Do you not want to play bass? I just thought that you would be focused on singing. I'm sure.
It's cool. I just, lead singers and lead guitarists sometimes the same person. I figured we could. It's fine though. It's just
So are you bassist, guitar? What are we doing?
Ava is normally like the bassist for the band, but with Frank taking over, I think Ava is just going to be just singing tonight.
Gotcha. All right, we're on stage and the asshats are gonna be next to us. So, you ready?
Let's kill them.
All right, you see Franco. Yeah, let's kill him. And he kind of walks up, very much concerned about the other thing he saw as he goes up onto the stage. You following suit. As that's going on, you're getting ready. I'll do one last quick interaction here before the battle starts. You, Lizzie, see going about. Lola right now is talking with somebody that you can't necessarily see. If you want to focus on who you're talking to, I would say give me a brains check here. DC 7.
4.
You're not paying attention. The only thing you're really paying attention to is not only the lovely Lola, but also what's in their hand. As you see, they hand over a stack of cash, and immediately in the other hand from this individual, swap it. You see a plastic baggie go into their hands, a couple pills.
Oh God, she's like, I wish I didn't fucking see that. But her body is still moving towards Lola to go say hi.
With that, you see they're prepping, getting ready to just take one of these, and with that, they're gonna, oh, hey, Lizzie, what are you doing here? Oh, right, you're working the,
Begrudgingly.
yeah. I mean, is it up to code? Do I need to be worried?
We're at 80% up to code. We have the exits. It's just, unfortunately, the lights are not going to be sustainable for an extended period of time. That's not why I came up here to talk to you.
Oh, if it's about the bar, it's fine. I closed up shop, and everybody's gonna be here anyway. So,
How have you been doing? I haven't seen you.
Yeah. I signed the affidavit. My dad wanted me to really hold on to the place, but the fire kind of comatized him, so we can't really afford to keep him going if I don't sign. So I signed it. I'm gonna send it in the morning. My sister thinks I'm doing the right thing. I kind of feel weird about it, but it's a lot of money and kind of need it. And part of that money is going towards this because I need to forget that I am doing this.
Lizzie can't hide what's on her face. There is obviously an expression of conflicted sort of, not judgment or anything like that, but it's just sort of like oh.
You'll still have a job if you're worried about that. I mean, I'm still going to keep it open. Luckily, the money will help keep everything running and also will help pay for my dad. I just won't be able to really do anything legally wise, which I guess is fine. I don't really want to be roped into all that bullshit. So, I mean, it's a win-win, if anything. Free cash.
Can't rightfully say that I know or that anyone knows if it's exactly free cash. But at the very least, I know you're thinking about, you haven't submitted it officially yet, but stick around for tonight. There's going to be we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm not the best with words, but Ava's got a little thing that we're going to say about it.
Cool. Rad. You want to get fucked up?
I will.
It kind of hands over their baggie.
I will get half fucked up, not on pills.
Forgot some weed. I'm gonna take this because I need something a bit stronger, especially being in the military. You go through a lot. So,
I won't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lighter?
Yes, I do.
And with that, kind of, as you get into the corner, and we go over to the stage. As you can see, one of the announcers kind of goes, "All right, everybody, we're about to start here. So on the left, we got our local residents, Oral Riot. Let's give it up, everyone. You see, woo, yeah!" And sort of a clap. We did want to take a moment, everybody. So about 10 seconds of silence here. We lost a beloved rocker by the name of Cam. Cameron, whatever you wanted to fucking call him, but we lost him out there. So about 10 seconds of silence, if you don't mind, for a fellow rocker in heaven. May his soul be ever on that journey. And you see there's a bit of a silence at the moment. All right, none of that bullshit. On the outside there, we got a very special guest coming all the way from the big city. We got Ram Green and the Pistons. You see, he kind of comes on stage. It's your boy, yeah.
Boo.
I take that constructive criticism. And with that, kind of goes on the side there. They set up. All right. So you know the way this is going to work. One band is going to play. The other one's going to go tit for tat. And whichever one gets the most applause wins the battle. So, yeah. I'm going to toss this coin here. And let's see who gets it first. You see, flips a coin. All right, looks like the Pistons are going up first. All right, let's have a clean fight. Remember, everybody, rock on and bang on. And with that, you see the Pistons go up. This one's for our fellow rocker. We're going to miss you, Cameron, buddy. You see, he goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And with that, you see that they immediately begin to very much coming out with, put the wrong music in, there we go. Very much come out here, almost like pop rock-ish, not necessarily heavy metal-ish. As they bang out a song, immediately you hear the first thing is sort of that sliding of their finger against the guitar as it reverberates for a second. And almost you can feel, from my two in the crowd, sort of the echo that comes from it. And they are fucking good. I mean, you know they were like good. But I think in the back of your head of like, these guys are really good. And everything begins to play in your mind. They got a record deal. they have the confidence to show up knowing that someone died to take over. They're like vultures. They're really good. And I think in this instance, as you're getting ready, spotlight on your face, a bit of stress. How's Ava feeling in this moment?
Ava is both in his element and completely a fish out of water, because Ava loves being on stage. That is where he is the most comfortable. That is where he feels at home. But he's never been the front man, the front runner of the band before. That's not his role before anyway. He's used to being kind of off to the side and doing his thing. And just, I think when the spotlight hits him, like he like squints at the lights, and that's when it really hits him emotionally, like, this is it. And this is a chance for Ava to show that he didn't need Cameron, that they all didn't need Cameron. And it's nerve-wracking. And it's exciting, but it's nerve-wracking.
And I think as you get in your mind, I didn't need Cameron, almost like an unwelcome ghost. You can feel almost like the whisper at the back of your head. You really think they're gonna care for the great Ava? You really think you can beat those guys? Cameron's voice begins to egg you.
Ava, I think his breath starts to quicken a little bit at that. And he kind of looks, scanning the crowd, like he's expecting to find Cameron in there somewhere actually talking to him. But obviously doesn't find Cameron, and just sees Lizzie and Zona and Lola and all of the people from town there. And he swallows this lump in his throat that is formed and takes a deep breath.
Try to breathe in. You're gonna need it. I mean, it's just career suicide. What's the worst that can happen to poor, dear, old, whiny baby Ava? And as you are trying to get them out the head, you can see, all right, everybody, that was a great opener. With that, it's time for Oral Riot to respond, so take it away.
And Cyrus starts first as the drummer, keeping us in time. Slowly, Frank starts to join the intro to the song beginning. And at first, Ava is, I think, stuck in his head, stuck in these voices that Cameron... he's still stuck in his head. He's dead, but he's still here, and Ava is still stuck. And I think there is maybe like a bar, 2 bars, where Ava is supposed to start singing and he doesn't. And he's standing there looking out at the crowd. And I think he looks back and he sees Frank and he sees Cyrus. It's probably Cyrus's face. Some sort of expression of concern, of like, you're supposed to go on. That shakes Ava out of it. And he starts to sing. A little shakily at first. Still trying to find his ground, but he starts to sing. How does the crowd react?
Well, interesting you say that. As you are in this tense situation, your body feel like you are being not necessarily attacked, but watched. You begin to feel your heart begin to beat. And I will say for my other two, you do begin to see some seepage coming out. I would like Ava here to roll their Wildfire dice for this instance here.
Oh my god. Okay.
I will say, let's do DC 6 to see if you can. You are asking how they're feeling. If you get a DC 6, you can determine how they're feeling.
Oh, okay. So my Wildfire die is a D4, so yes. I do have to blow up for this to work. Okay, I got a 3. But if I spend an adversity token, can I make it blow up?
Yes, you can make it blow up.
Okay, I'm gonna spend an adversity token to make that blow up. So that'll give me. It technically gives me +2, but I don't know if that like count. Like, can I like over? Can I make it a 5 or no?
For this instance, I'll just say it just blows up the dice. You're at a 4, so
cool.
you can roll. You roll a d6 now.
Oh, roll d6 now. Okay, 1 second.
Yes. So you are exploding, so you're going up.
I got a 10 total.
So you got a 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the d6?
Yeah.
Or something happens here,
Holy.
but now you're at a d8 now. So roll a d8.
Oh my god, wait, I have to
keep
roll
going.
again. Oh shit, okay.
Keep going. Yeah.
Okay, I got a 7 this time, so it was so close.
God. You could blow up if you want again. It's up to you.
I can't, I don't have any more tokens.
Okay. Okay, with that, as you
Be
did
careful,
blow
too.
up, you blow it up on a d6. In that instance there, I need you to roll me really quickly a d10. As you see that you're using this power, you are being affected. So I need you to roll a d10 to see what you get here.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
Got a 5. You're going to get a sense of fatigue as you're doing this. But in total, so you got 4, you got 10, and then 7, so about 17 here. With that, how do you want the crowd to react as you are using the waves coming off of the base, everything around you, and you begin to almost convert it in a sense, as you can feel everybody's nervous system looking in direction?
Ava wants the crowd to be fired up. Ava wants excitement, honestly, if he's being honest, he wants a little bit of rage. He wants the people in the audience to feel the frustration and anger that is pent up inside of him and has been for so long. He wants to connect with the audience in that way.
Individual question. Are you just doing this to everyone, or are you being selective?
I don't think Ava knows he's doing this, so I think it happens to everyone.
I need a DC 17 crit check from my other 2 Wildfires.
Oh my god, not DC 17!
Holy.
My grid is a D4, so
Hey, you never know.
1.
My grid's a D20. So
You could do it. You could do it.
Could
I
do
could
it.
do it. Imagine if I get a 20 on this. A 6.
Get a 6.
How many
Well,
adversity tokens? Is that
so
2?
One,
Or
no, it's just 1 for you, and then
2 for me because I have that
2 for
special
you.
thing.
that's right.
And Ava, you said rageful, right? You said a sense of like rage and sort of
Yeah.
head banging. So I think the two begins to get a little, not in a sense aggressive, but you feel almost like annoyed in a sense as you sort of bang your head, but still going about your mission here. Going up to you, Holloway, you're trying to look for Cesar. So I am going to need a. It's up to you how are you looking for this man? Are you asking around? Are you being roughhousing it a bit? Are you just looking as
Zona-
fast as possible?
Zona is straight up like going around and like mentally in her head is like, okay, so he's got hair like this and da da da. And she's just going around like, hey, anybody seen a dude who looks like this named Cesar? Like, she's not being subtle, like, at all.
I think the one last distinction I need, are you manhandling like people? Are you like kind of like, hey, you, do you know where Cesar? Or are you just kind of like overall, hey, do you know who this guy is? Or hey, do you know who this guy is?
I wouldn't think she's like manhandling, but I think she's not afraid to like take someone's shoulder and physically turn him around to look at her.
Get you. So
Like,
I'll make this a brawn check
Not
then.
shaken, but she's
yeah.
like a little intimidating, I would say.
I'll make it a brawn check because you're being a little bit more forceful here. Let's call it a DC 7.
A brown DC7, bronze my second best. Let's see. Okay, that is a 6. I'm gonna use an adversity token to get that up to a 7.
Fantastic. And from my knowledge here, Lizzie, are you getting high with Lola at the moment, or are you just gonna? Okay.
Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah. You're getting high with, so you're going off the corner. You don't notice this, but as this individual who sold the drugs to Lola walks away, you Zona see that this is the guy you're looking for. As you see, he's just going around selling off whatever drugs he can or has on him. You see that he's an individual, slightly leaner, You see he has a number of tattoos along the left side of his face. Very much trench coat, not necessarily because of the weather, but primarily because that's where his stash is. He's just handing out to whoever he's got here, his business.
I'm clocking that he's selling drugs, yes?
Yes.
I'm going up to him. I'm going to pretend to be a customer. I'm buying off of him.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
Going up to him, I think in this instance, the Pistons are kind of like, I get this rebuttal, see that they're losing with that kind of, all right, come on, guys, let's chop it up, let's chop it up. And with that, they go with their response now. In this instance here, I always play the wrong song. There we go. With this, you come up to the individual, says sorry, kind of goes, hey, how you doing? You need anything?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, what you got going tonight?
I got anything you need. I got weed, I got pills, I got a little bit of the snow bunny, if you know what I mean. It's a little expensive, but don't trust me. Cream source.
What's that running? What's an 8-ball running?
8-ball, I mean, I'm doing a special discount because of the funeral. I know a lot of people are trying to, lose themselves
Man of the
here.
people, I respect it.
That'll be $50. So he's, but he's pure. This is no cut. It's pure. So. Yeah.
All right, Zona will buy coke off this dude.
And you buy.
And I'm buying an 8-ball off this motherfucker. Like,
fantastic. Gonna buy off of you. Go. Bring.
Yeah, and as he's like going around, I'm assuming he has like a bag or something. Can I check out like how much money does it look like he has on him? What drugs does it look like he has on him? Like how much of it? Because I'm trying to see if there's a plausible reason I can get this guy alone.
He's got like a military duffel bag kind of deal, so it's like full of stuff. But you do notice that as he's moving it, he has to sort of move his trench coat. You do notice he's got a gun on him. As you see, he kind of has on his side there, very much in the back. You see that he's going about just having everything. So you do know that even getting him alone, you gotta be careful.
I'm gonna ask this as a player, but Zona wouldn't be aware. Can I use my Wildfire die?
If you want to,
Thinking
sure.
about our the person who had supposedly gone missing, Amber Woods. And how long ago was Amber Woods' disappearance?
A couple years.
It was 7 years ago.
7 years ago?
If you want to be specific, here, 7 years ago.
That's more than a couple. Okay. I think I'm looking at him, I see the gun, and my mind goes to Amber. And I want to roll my Wildfire die.
Please roll it for me. I'll make it
a D4, right?
Yes, I'll make it a DC. D7, just for whatever's going on here. So yeah, I think 7.
So glad you say that. That's beautiful. Let's see. A 3, cool. I'm spending all of my adversity tokens right now. The 4 that I have.
So the way it works is a little bit different. You spend it to get to the highest number, and then the dice explodes, and then you roll the next one. So you can spend 1 to get to 4, and then you
get to 4.
Yeah. So roll a d6.
Rolling a d6. Okay. Oh, give it to me, baby. That's a 2. I'm gonna spend.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend because it's DC 7, so it would be 4.
Just
plus
1 more.
2, so I'll spend 1 more of that guy to get it up to a. So I have 2 adversity tokens now. Get it up to a 7.
Fantastic. So what are you trying to get from your power in this instance? What are you specifically trying to?
I think Zona's not consciously aware quite yet, but I think I'm trying to understand what actually happened in those woods. And Zona, the thing is, has no fucking clue how to like actually interrogate or charm people or whatever. Zona is all bronze, no brains. So she sees the gun and she thinks to Amber and the tape and like the violence and just the idea of someone truly disappearing and like the nothingness of it all, like no clue where they are. And she's thinking like, who would know? The only people who would possibly know what could have gone on are probably dead. And I think that's when her power kicks in.
You see, almost like appearing from his back, one of those zombified cowboys. As you see, their long stretched finger goes into his mind and begins to seep something out of it and begins to stretch it open. As you see what looks like to be an image of him doing something in town, just selling off a couple drugs or whatever, and then you see this Amber Woods individual. You don't hear anything, but you see that she pulls out a gun on him, screaming. He gets hit in the head, and with that he goes into his bag and like gives them a bunch of cash.
Gives Amber a bunch of cash?
Like almost like throws it at them. As Amber tries to pick it up, he comes and hits her upside the head, but she manages to shoot him in the leg, and whatever venue they're at begins to panic. And you see Amber immediately with this cash, almost like coming out, goes into a nearby car, drives straight towards the mountains, and then immediately you see coming behind, almost like a car that was waiting and following, a Cyclone security van begin to follow. Before this ghost figure just takes the vision away, and you see this dude is like, "You're good? What is going on?"
Yeah, just guess I might have my drink spiked or something, a little funky. But I have a question about the vision. Was she going into a car? Was she driving the car, or was she going in as a passenger and there was someone else with her?
From what you can tell, she was driving the car by herself.
Okay, so she was by herself.
I think in this instance, as you're sort of trying to understand what's going on, Ava, you are playing at this moment. At this point, you're still controlling the crowd. If anything, you haven't felt this good in forever. Like pre-Cameron. And as you are controlling, you are really doing great here, controlling the crowd. Do you want to keep this feeling going, or are you going to keep it at the tempo it is right now?
I think Ava feels that sense of connection with the crowd that he's looking for, and it excites him. He himself can feel his adrenaline starting to pump faster and faster and harder, and he can see that the crowd seems to react to his every desire, in this case, his feelings, it's unclear, he doesn't really understand it, but he can feel it. And I think in that, excitement kind of takes over that feeling of rage, and so I think Ava wants to push this feeling further, but pushing the adrenaline into more of like a positive place rather than a negative place.
Alright, better control. What's your Wildfire at right now? Or am I
D8.
D10? D8? Okay, D8. I'm gonna say you're gonna have to make this a 10 if you want to control it fully. So I'll give it to you.
Okay, in that case, let me roll. Does the one fatigue do anything for me?
Not at the moment. Your character is just fatigued.
Okay.
So it's very much, you're still in control, but if you do anything else besides this, you're gonna have a bit of a negative backlash.
Wow, I got a 2.
Oh, fuck. Ooh.
Fantastic. You are trying to sort of rein it in, take an adversity token, but with that, there's just so much rage in this fucking place. And I think inadvertently, it begins to draw into you as you just feel angrier and angrier and angrier.
And I think feeling that anger well up inside of him, I think in the middle of the set, while like Cyrus and Frank are still playing, like I think doing the thing where like they're like repeating a riff over and over and over again behind him as they notice that Ava is in the middle of tirade, maybe is the best way to describe it. But I think at that point Ava calls out to everyone. People of Hearts Valley, we are all here together because we care about each other. We are all here because we are neighbors. We take care of each other here. And you know who doesn't take care of us here? You know who isn't our neighbor? Cyclone. I know that we have all faced great tragedy because of the forest fire. But Cyclone is trying to take advantage of that tragedy, of your pain and your loss, to push through their own ideas, their own agendas, they're just trying to make a profit off of us. So don't sign those affidavits. It is not worth selling our souls to Cyclone. We will take care of each other.
And I think you see Lola at the first chance go, you know what? Fuck yeah! Fuck Cyclone! And you see everybody go, fuck Cyclone!
I think we just start with chant. It just turns into a chant.
And then in this instance, as you are getting this moment, you see something come through one of the nearby windows. As you see a smoke begin to rile up, and you see everyone begins to, oh, what the fuck is this part of the show? And with that, as you're doing that, Zona, as you're trying to get an instant, you see Cesar's going, what the fuck? You see somebody from one of the nearby areas opens a door, immediately hits Cesar in the chest, and begins to drag him out towards the back. You see that their face is covered.
I'm gonna try and save him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and save him.
I'm gonna need a fight check if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do a fucking fight check. Hell yeah! It's gonna be a good time. Alright.
Trying to beat a 13 here.
Okay, I'll have to explode. Oh, fucking hell, a 6. No, I tried.
With that 2 adversity tokens there, as you try to get this individual, you see that they take what looks like to be a baton and hit you straight in the leg, push you off to the side, as they just grab Cesar and just leave his bag, as they clearly are just here for him. You can see that this individual, his face is like, they're covered, you see they have like a welding mask on and goggles, as they just grab him and bring him out towards the front, as everybody inside this place begins to scatter.
I have a gun!
Oh god.
Hold on. I can do long distance. I have a gun.
I will say in this instance, you did have a turn, so you do have to wait a second.
Also, there's smoke. There's smoke everywhere.
Lizzie, what are you doing?
Probably not a good idea for me to be shooting things here. I know exactly what I'm doing on my next turn. I'm grabbing that fucking thing and I am shooting this motherfucker.
Keep that in mind. Lizzie, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and immediately like surge towards the wherever I see the, I don't know what is it, this is called, this like smoke bomb.
It's like a smoke. It looks like, you think it's like, maybe you think, oh shit, is it the cops? But as you kind of get closer to it, it seems like to be some sort of makeshift like smoke bomb in a sense.
Makeshift? Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, like not knowing if it's gonna like do anything other than just emit the smoke. I just want to try and like throw the smoke back out of the window or like wherever it came from.
Fantastic. I'm gonna say a brawn check, just to sort of see like
happy
this
to
thing out here. Let's make it a DC 9.
15.
Like an all-star quarterback, you take that thing, you throw it out as it goes outside. People are still running out, but at least this place won't like congest with smoke. So everybody's still running. You do notice that Lola, in that sense, runs out as well. As you see, they completely run. You're not going to be really able to talk as they're running out. Ava, what are you doing in this moment as you notice that you come back into being? You are incredibly tired. You feel like you've just ran several marathons as you're like have to hold on to something for quite a bit as you see Frank and Cyrus go, "Is this part of the fucking show?" kind of energy looking at you.
No, it's not. And I think Ava, having been to a lot of concerts, knows that once we start trampling people, things are bad. So I think he, like, still at the mic, tired, honestly, like, leaning against the mic, using it to hold himself up, is going to start yelling into the mic for where the exits are, remembering what Lizzie said about where the emergency exits are, and starts, like, trying to, like, direct people. And if I may, Chris, I would like to try to use my wildfire die to bring people's, like, energy down.
Fantastic. Do that for me. I'm gonna say the DC's a bit higher since you are fatigued. And especially everybody's very much of like, there's smoke, I'm out. Let's make it a DC 15.
Oh god.
It'll be a little bit difficult.
You got it. You got this. I believe
And because we're all engaged in the scene now, are we able to give adversity tokens?
You are.
Okay, good to know.
I will say
Okay.
for the wildfire die specifically, it is going to be 2 to get to 1 because this is more of a special one.
Understood.
So it is going to be 2 just for 1 for Ava there, but keep that in mind.
So-
So Ava, what did you get?
I rolled a 7. I have a
Okay.
D8. Can I spend my adversity token, since I normally have a 2 for 1 in my tokens, to get to an 8 and then blow up?
Yes.
Okay.
So you blow up there. You got a D10 now.
Okay, so I have 8 so far. I have to roll a 5, please. I rolled an 8!
Okay.
That's 16.
Fantastic. With that, you almost like reaching out, you can feel almost like you're grabbing onto these individual spinal cards, almost like you're creating a chain that links back to you. And with that, you yank it back. Make sure that everybody stands still for just a moment and then immediately go, exits here, and here. And with that, everybody kind of calms down and kind of like speed walking, but not trampling over anybody. They help anybody that gets up. They make sure that the tip jar is secure as everybody's getting out. But in this instance, you two notice that an individual is kidnapping Caesar. With that, Zona, what are you doing in this instance here? As you see
I'm shooting
this
the
guy's
motherfucker.
running? Fantastic. You
Hey, you ain't gotta tell me twice. I'm shooting that motherfucker. I'm grabbing that bag and I'm shooting him.
Fantastic. As you sort of chase him out, you're kind of limping. You notice that he's getting into the back of a car as he's just tossed in the trunk. You get a moment here to shoot at this guy before he tries to drive away. It's going to be
Before
a
he
fight
drives.
check. Let's make it a 9. DC 9.
I got a question.
Yes.
My car is here, so
Yes.
I can treat snap decisions as planned actions. Right?
Oh,
Correct. So that would have meant that it was a snap action. So in terms of you can use Tober tokens, is what it means here. So it's very quick and whatnot. But since you have your car nearby, you are very much of like using it to help you aim, I guess, if anything. So you kind of skid off to the side, aim. So you're at a 9 and you can use adversity tokens.
Arizona Holloway.
No. So, okay. So I can use, just real quick, planned actions means that I get what bonuses?
It's just normal roll. It's just a normal
normal
roll where
roll.
you can add stuff onto it. Usually with snap decisions, you're not really able to add or people aren't able to help you out. But as your hero, you can get help and you can shoot at this man.
Fuck yeah.
Cool. You know what? I'm debating. Hold on 1 second.
Slow motion
I can
going for the
shoot.
car.
I can shoot at this man, or I can shoot at the tires of the car. I'm gonna go. Ooh,
What's Zona's style?
Yeah, literally.
literally. You know what? She's gonna shoot at the. She's gonna shoot at the man, and she's gonna try for either one of the shoulders, so that hopefully they let go. And try and remember like the car that he's in, and like the license plate if it has one. You know, I'm gonna go for the shoulders though to see if they can let Caesar go with the shoulders.
Fantastic.
And
With
it's a
that,
fight?
it's a DC 9 fight check.
I have a 10 to
You got
fight, let's
this.
go. 4. God damn. Okay. planned action. I can add on.
You need 5 adversity tokens if you want to get to 9.
I need 5 adversity.
I'll give you
tokens.
3.
I got 2. That's 5. Okay.
Lizzie, real quick, Lizzie, how are you helping in this instance? As you see that
I have no idea. I'm not outside, so maybe I'm not able
you
to.
You need to give a reason how you helping here.
Okay.
I think, you know what I think it is? I think, because she was nearby. Lizzie was nearby. So.
Yeah, Lizzie's nearby, so you know this is going on. I'm just asking, like, how.
Okay,
is she
understood.
helping in this instance?
Yeah, I think Zona, like, screams out to Lizzie and is like, when Cesar gets taken, and is like, they're fucking taking him, and is like limping along. I don't know how.
Okay.
But Lizzie's aware.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you, like, depending on the actual cardinal direction he is, based on like the clock, I'm gonna just be like 3 p.m., 3 o'clock, whatever. And then I think there was a dynamic like when we were kids, like I think fully had a system probably.
Oh, we
where
fight
we would
all the
like
time, yeah.
we fought all the time, and then there would be teachers coming through about to like break us apart, and then suddenly Lizzie would just always somehow you couldn't do math, but you understood how a clock worked at least. So I tell you where exactly you need to shoot.
Fantastic. With that,
Beautiful.
you aim, go for one of the shoulders. You see it goes clean through, goes through. You see he lets go of Caesar. You see there's a scream as this muffled individual kind of goes. And with that, you see jumps into the car as you just going shots trying to really disarm him. But with that, gets in his car and just drives away. As he is going to drive away, unless anybody else is going to do something.
Oh, wait, hold on. Planned action means I take half of a DC.
You can take half of a dice. I don't think it's DC. So technically, it's like if your dice is a D10, you can have it to a 5 because sometimes it's easier. That's what that.
It's like an
never
auto
mind.
success thing, right? Like,
Like an auto success, so like a D20, it would be a
Okay,
D10
cool.
if it was like so. That's to keep in mind.
Okay.
But
Okay, in that case, let's say I halved it to a 5, and then you can have one of those adversity tokens back, Joe. Is that cool with everybody?
Yeah, cool.
Okay, sorry. I was like, wait a second. I know there was a mechanical aspect.
dope. I'm gonna say Ava, you're probably not in this instance because you're just helping direct people. So Lizzie, you're the last person to do anything. You see, it's individual
here's the
gets in their
thing.
car.
From what we've discussed about Lizzie's wildfire, is there gas? Is there offhand flammable liquid around potentially in the parking
It's a whole
lot?
bar.
There's a whole bar. Okay. Lizzie is able to find the good in most situations. This right now, we shot a man. There's gonna be talk, small town, of a guy who got shot in the shoulder, and we can definitely try and find that trail. She's happy with that. But in this moment, there's just like this weird urge in her. There's this weird instance. The fire inside of her seeing Lola, the fire that was stoked, feeling and being so proud of Ava playing and like inciting so much like inspiration to everyone. Arizona being honestly like the cowboy, like being a true American cowboy right now. Lizzie wants to concentrate on the tires of the car and using potentially with Wildfire to try and melt the rubber of the tires.
Fantastic. If you'd be so kind, you're going to need to roll a d4. I'm just going to see how far you can get here. Somebody else is doing something as well.
That's so cool.
I got a 3 because I got that adversity token back. I can bump up to a 4.
Okay, so you're at a you're at a 4, so you got a d6 now.
It's 4. And that's a 3, so that's 7.
7. Fantastic. With that, somebody else is going to contest your roll and roll their wildfire die.
Okay.
As you, so you're trying to melt with like, are you just trying to melt it
Diva
with your
has
hands, or are you
vanilla.
trying to use your alcohol to sort of like throw it at the tire?
I think it is this thing, like she takes like maybe not even thinking, just trying to like, you know, the nerves all abound. She like chucks like, you know, a handle, like something vodka specifically at the car just to like get a dent in, see if that smashes the back window or something. But then as it kind of like trails off, missing, getting to the tires at the very least, getting some of that liquid on, there's just something in her heart that says and wants fire.
With that, you get this liquid up, you get ready, getting with that precision again, but as you throw it, almost like it coming off of your arm, you feel something hit the back of your neck in a sense of like something begins to creep. Not physically, but you hear the words, miss, and you immediately
Ooh!
throw it off to the side, and it lands left as this car begins to just speed out of here.
No fucking way.
Who's got these powers? What motherfucker has these powers?
Who here has those powers? What?
I think you look around, you just see there's just crowds of people just trying to walk off. Somebody here just did something. But in this instance, as you're trying to get a hold of everything, you guys can see in the distance the cop sirens coming up, so you need to disperse.
Get out! Get out!
I think this part is
Tired.
planned and rehearsed. The underground concerts that Ava helps to plan are no strangers to the cops coming in to stop us and end the night. So I think like this is the part that we've actually prepared for, and I think it is a very clean, easy dispersal in this way.
Like SEAL Team 6, you guys immediately, there's already a crew like deconstructing and everything. Everybody's beginning to disperse. You have a moment for yourselves, so what are your last things are you going to say to each other or do before you guys go off? And
Back at the
I'm
house.
getting the fuck in my car, and I'm throwing the bag of many drugs and money and running from these cops.
Back at the house.
Bet you ain't gotta say another word, honey.
Ava gets on his motorcycle and follows to Lizzie's house.
Lovely. With that, you all jump in, you get into your car, your vehicles. As you drive off, everybody deconstructing. And as you all go off, you see that among the crowd, necessarily can't see who this person is, but with that, they just look about, make sure everything's good, and with it begins to seep into the forest with everybody else. As maybe one of those members was here with us today. And that is where we shall end it for today. Yay!
Damn.
With that, everyone, that's the end of another episode of the Wildfire Club. We hope you had a wonderful time. So, with that in mind, before we sign off, quick plugs for all our people where they can find you. Starting off with you, Cam. We got anything to plug to the lovely audience out there?
Yeah. Hi, I am Cam, and if you like hearing me talk in a southern accent, you're gonna love the musical I've in that you can see here in Chicago. You go over to my Linktree or any of my social media, it's pinned on my Twitter. You can get tickets. Caminator, cam.nator. I'll toss it to Joe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josephine at scarydogfriend. This show is so fucked up. Anyway, you can find me at scarydogfriend on Blue Sky and Twitter and YouTube, Twitch, all the things. You can find me coming up this Wednesday for Slumber, our liminal horror story over at Bad House RPG, as well as on Fridays, you can find me on The Mandy on Curse of Sapphics as a monstrous MILF who's just trying to find her sense of self. We're playing Pathfinder 2E. And God, I'm so fucked up right now. I'll pass it over to Ava, to Hamna.
Hello, it's me. I'm Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and today I have been Ava. Yeah, today was a lot. I was not expecting like half the shit that happened to happen. The mystery is deepening. I am a TTRPG performer and producer. If you like what I do, you can follow me all over the social medias at Lilith TTRPG. I am most active on Blue Sky, so if you want like regular updates, that's where you should be. The thing that I will plug is that my multimedia production studio, Tender Vicious Studios, has a new actual play out right now. It is called Laurie's House, and it is available on all podcasting platforms. It is a story of magical realism about imperfect memory, community, and identity. So you should definitely go check it out. I'm really proud of it. I think it's a really beautiful piece of work, and I'm really proud of the work that everybody did in it. So yeah, the first episode is out. You only have one to catch up on. The second episode will come out on Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. And with that, I will pass things over to Chris.
Hello, I am the motherfucker responsible for all this pain and torment. In terms of what's going on, we have, as always, on Sundays, this lovely episode of Wildfire. We'll have another one next week, and then we probably will have to break for the 20th, because that is Easter. But we'll have another episode out for you coming up next week. And also, the Mythic Initiative is via these being updated on Wednesdays. It is very close to the 4th season being complete, so if you ever want to catch up on that stuff, that's where you can find that bad boy there. We have a bunch of other stuff coming up, but we're doing scheduling and whatnot, so I cannot confirm dates for you yet, but be on the lookout. You can find me on the interwebs at VO Cologne, more on Blue Sky than Twitter. But beyond that, I hope you had a wonderful time with us this Sunday, and we can't wait for the next thrilling episode of the Wildfire Club to show to you. But until then, everyone, we hope you had a lovely evening, and we can't wait to see you till next time. Bye-bye, everyone.